What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, tonight, people that are really into science are gonna fucking hate this. People that love milk are gonna fucking hate this. Conspiracy theorists, you're gonna fucking love this, right? And people that are just curious and want to know the truth, you're gonna love this shit too. But it's gonna be split down the middle. Now, let me start out by saying, and this is a fact. And matter of fact, there's something that just came out recently, which is pretty awesome, that explains this and proves this, because it is a fact. If you only use Google, you may have a hard time finding the truth. Honestly, you're like, listen, Google has actually been known to bury, and I use the word bury, meaning they wind up using search engine optimization to put things that they don't want you to see or find way back, like page 12, 13, 14, 15. Some of the stuff is completely omitted altogether. If you use another search engine like Bing or web crawler or something like that, you'll find the stuff that's on Google, but other stuff that you can't find on Google. And it's not because it's not real information, it's because Google picks and chooses, and also based on who pays them, what goes on Google. Now, we'll get into it in a minute how that whole thing, anyways, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day, but I think we'll do a video about Monsanto and how they basically paid Google to bury all the shit about, what we're finding out now that just can't be denied. But basically, trust me, if you guys are looking for information, use something other than Google, another, like web crawler, another search engine, and you're going to find other things. So I actually had an individual pop up in my comment section on the video I did about milk. And I had said that when milk gets pasteurized, it gets denatured. And there was only one individual that actually said this. And when he said it, I was like, challenge accepted. Because I'm like, why would you make that statement? Like, I'm not going to make the statement if I haven't already researched it and known it to be true. If I am wrong, I'll absolutely say I'm wrong. I'm not right about everything. Fuck, I'm wrong all the time. But certain things that I feel strongly about, that I've researched over and over again and really studied, I'm right. Now, one of the things about denaturing protein, check this out. I don't know why, and get this, there's not a whole lot on Google about it. Use another search engine, you'll find it. So I'm going to just read this whole thing through. This is by a doctor, a PhD named Robert Irons. We're just going to read the whole thing. So proponents of raw milk, and I basically said that when you pasteurize the milk, it robs it of nutrients. It basically destroys some of the protein and stuff in it, and then they add fortified with vitamin D. What do you think that means? It means they added it to it. It means that it was actually destroyed when it was actually processed, and they start adding vitamins and minerals shit back to it. That's what fortified means. You're adding stuff back to it that have been lost through the pasteurization process. Now, what's being added to it? It's not the natural substances. What's being added to it is synthetic substances, or it could be derived from natural sources, but it's not the exact thing that came out of the milk to begin with, unless they're extracting it from raw milk, then putting it back in the pasteurized, which makes no fucking sense. But my whole thing was, when the milk is pasteurized, it changes milk. It's not truly milk anymore as we know it, right? Plain and simple. Proponents of raw milk know that government websites' reports on raw milk are filtered with bias and outright errors. Recently wrote Center for Disease Control to point out the serious error on their website. So the CDC has an error on their website. Now, is it an error or is it manipulation? I'm banking more on manipulation than error. Anyways, so let's go through this. A calf cannot thrive on pasteurized cow's milk, so a human baby fails to thrive on pasteurized mother's milk. They're talking about basically cow or human pasteurized milk does not give the same nutrients to a kid or a calf. So right off the bat, they're trying to explain that the stuff that was on the CDC's website is not just inaccurate, but they go in depth to explain how and why this happens. It says nutritional value of raw milk in a paragraph of a 2-section entitled "Pasteurization is key to making dairy products safe" is the statement, "Pasteurization does not harm the nutritional value of milk and cheese." This statement is erroneous, misleading, and factually incorrect. That's the part that I want to get to, but I figure I'd give you guys the whole picture, because why just give you part of it? Like, that's how manipulation happens, really give part of it. I'll give you the whole thing. You guys decide for yourself. This statement is erroneous and misleading. Many nutrients and immune-enhancing components are destroyed by exposure to high heat and the temperatures used during pasteurization. Vitamin A is degraded, proteins and enzymes are denatured, and immunoglobulins are destroyed. That's what I fucking said. I just said denatured. I didn't go super in-depth because I was like, it wasn't about that. It was just explaining how the pasteurization process changes raw milk to the changes in it, okay? Vitamin A, regarding the vitamin A, an important fat-soluble nutrient. A paper on this subject published in January of 2000 contains the following statement in the abstract. Vitamin A is very sensitive to chemical degradation caused by oxygen, light, heat, and other stress factors. If light and oxygen are excluded, the dominant degradation reaction for vitamin A derives as heat-induced formation of ketols, that is, dimmers of high ugly. I don't even know what that word is. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff in here. It's from the Food Chemistry in 2000, January Food Chemistry. That's where it's published. Salmonella. A related error on the CDC site concerns salmonella. The agency's official site is cook poultry, ground beef, eggs thoroughly before eating. Do not eat or drink foods containing raw eggs or raw unpasteurized milk. However, the later on this page we read, mother's milk is the safest food for young infants, which is unpasteurized. Breastfeeding prevents salmonella and many other health problems. This one instance, the CDC warns not to drink unpasteurized milk, and 7 points later within the same section states that unpasteurized milk, whether it's mother's, cows, or whatever, is the safest food for young infants, meaning calves, cows, humans, whatever, and breastfeeding prevents salmonella and many other health problems. This is highly misleading to the average citizen. They contradict themselves on the website itself, saying pasteurized milk is the only thing you should take, but a mother's milk that's unpasteurized is fine, and that baby doesn't even have the immune system to fight off shit. So it's like it contradicts itself all right on the website, but people don't pick up on that, right? Because they just read it, they don't pay attention. Growth in premature babies. There's a whole other thing about that, but basically, the destruction of enzymes. So a study published in 1977, we learned human milk was subjected to heat treatments of graded severity and examined it for content of immunoglobulins, lactoferrin, lycozyme, vitamin B12, and folate binder proteins, and lactoperoxidase. Some of this stuff you know what the fuck it is. Basically, it said 20% and destroyed. It reduced the IgA tier by 20% at 62.5 degrees, okay? Which they use up to 70 degrees to pasteurize, from what I understand. So at 62.5, 20% of those enzymes were destroyed in the milk. The small content of IgM and most of the lactoferrin. Lactozyme was stable in this treatment, but with increase in temperature, there was progressive destruction near to 100% at 100 degrees. Now, they don't use 100 degrees, but bottom line is the higher you go in the heat, the more enzymes that are destroyed in the milk itself. Studies apply to all species, not just human milk. Americans look at the CDC to provide factually correct information is not misleading. The above references prove that pasteurization does harm the nutritional value of milk. Therefore, the CDC is obligated to remove the following errorist statements from its website. Recommendations, all other CDC materials. Pasteurization does not harm the nutritional value of milk and cheese. Now, here's the thing. What makes you think that the pasteurization process, which does destroy nutrients in the milk itself, then adding them back in? Now, much like an onion, when it's heated, the molecular structure changes. It goes from being not really sugar to sugar. Now, the same thing happens with milk. So think about this for a second. People are thinking I'm crazy for this whole milk cancer link. And I have some fucking knucklehead on Instagram be like, Jerry, you should cite your sources. And he was all up my ass like a fucking mile, telling me that I'm wrong. And he cited all these fucking studies. And I'm like, all these studies are in fucking Google right now, right? But if you go off of Google and look up other shit, matter of fact, even if you go on Google and look up milk in cancer, milk proteins in cancer, all of this fucking information pops up. I don't have to cite a fucking study anywhere. All you have to do is Google what the fuck I said. Jerry said milk causes cancer. Milk causes cancer. All you gotta do is Google that. All the information pops up. Go to these other search engines, look into it. There's even more information that pops up. So now my thing is, technically, when they're saying milk, milk is safe, right? Milk is this, milk is that. But by maybe, and I'm gonna give everybody the benefit of the doubt, maybe raw milk, which they've been telling us forever is not safe. Maybe raw milk is the one that's actually safer than pasteurized milk. Maybe it's only the pasteurization process in general that causes some kind of structural change in the milk itself that is causing those cases of cancer, right? Think about it for a second. If we're meant to drink raw milk, not pasteurized milk, we're meant to drink raw milk from our parents. Cows are meant to drink raw milk from their parents, and we take that thing and we change it chemically and change the structure of that fucking food, and we feed it to our kids, the cows, whatever the case may be. You have something that we really don't know what we're dealing with, right? We don't really know. Well, I mean, they think they have studies but the studies say that milk proteins cause cancer. There's a distinct link, but they don't say raw milk. It's just milk. And basically we drink pasteurized milk. Think about that for a second. Think about all these foods that we eat in their most pure natural form. If we eat them like that, they're healthy. We now take these foods and we start fucking with them, manipulating, making GMOs, which they say are totally fucking safe. These genetically modified organisms, there is data. Now, there may not be as much data saying that they're bad for you as they are safe, but there's still data. My thing is, all these motherfuckers, especially this asshole that was on my Instagram, who's saying stuff like, I need to cite my sources. I'm like, are you a fucking scientist? Because if you are, right now you're a fucking fake wannabe scientist with an agenda. Because if you're not looking at this typically from the point of, I just want the information, and science is about information, it's about knowing the truth, right? Well, let's take the truth out of it, just knowing information. We want to know all the information about milk that we could. If you look up milk and cancer, milk proteins cause cancer, milk cancer, just type in milk cancer, all of this information pops up. For someone to actually say that that's not true, that all of that information is not true when it's been proven over and over again, and they consistently keep doing studies that shows that stuff actually causes cancer, and you say, but all this stuff is real. So what the fuck makes you believe that what you know is real, but somebody else looks at the other shit, it's not? This motherfucker didn't go through all these things and go right down the line and fucking compare them. If he did, that would make him a scientist. That would make him into science. But instead they go, I like milk. Milk's the perfect food. He even said something like, so-and-so has said, for the longest time, who the fuck is so-and-so? Anyways, that milk is like the perfect food. Well, who the fuck is he? Like, does he work for the fucking milk companies? Is he fucking on the Got Milk campaign? Like, what the fuck is really going on here? Then when you see stuff like, Google gets paid to bury shit. People are like, conspiracy theories, you're fucking so stupid. And then Monsanto, the internal documents were actually leaked. This is 100% real. The documents were leaked that show the stages of trying to control the situation where people found out that Monsanto's Roundup was causing cancer. To control that, what they did was pay Google a fuck ton of money, create their own narrative, basically saying how safe it was, paid them that when someone Googled that person's name who was going against them, the first thing that popped up was Monsanto shit. That person's actual stuff, basically saying it was cancer causing, got buried to the 12th page when that person's name, when their fucking name was Googled. So they're not even looking for stuff at Monsanto. They want to know what that person said. They Google that and all they have is the safety record about how safe fucking Roundup is. And now they're paying billions of dollars out of their pocket, Monsanto, because it is cancer causing. But they had a whole system in place on how to turn things around propaganda-wise to discredit the person actually putting out the real information, paid Google to bury it, and then came up with their own narrative and paid Google to push that to the top so that nobody would find what the fuck was going on there and think it's safe. That's just one fucking company we know about that's not as big as the dairy industry. That's just one company we know about that's not as big as the food industry. You're trying to fucking tell me only one company that had a fucking weed killer is the only one that ever paid Google to put their shit at the top to avoid people from finding out the truth? Get the fuck out of my face. When I went to these other search engines, and I've been doing this for quite a while, I don't know why I've never mentioned this before. When I went to these other search engines and started finding shit that I couldn't find on Google, I would literally open up two tabs. I have, two computers, one on my laptop and one on my desktop. And I would go and Google the same thing that I found in these other search engines, and it's nowhere to be found. And I'm looking, it's like the Journal of Medicine. It's published in like the Journal of Medicine. Why the fuck isn't it showing up on Google? That's not a quack fucking thing. That's not a quack, some kind of fucking stupid bullshit paper. That's an actual journal of scientists that have information they put out. It's been published. There were published things that wouldn't show up on Google. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the more I dove into it, it was like a rabbit hole. I was sitting there for fucking hours. It was like 4:30 in the morning one night when I'm like, how the fuck is this possible? In my head, I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and say that, look, Google's on the up and up. This person's on the up and up. The science guy that fucking tried to call me out was on the up and up. Like, I'm not going to fight with this guy. Fucking why? If you want to fucking argue about milk, go fuck yourself. Argue about milk. I don't have time in my day to argue with you about milk or try to give you my resources. Motherfuckers got Google, Bing, and all this other shit out there. They can find it themselves if they really want to. But I'm not going to sit here and fucking argue with someone or debate because there's no debate. The information is out there. I've seen it. You've seen it. They've seen it. Anybody that can fucking use a search engine can see it. So what am I going to debate? My opinion? My opinion is shut the fuck up and decide for yourself. I don't give a fuck whether people drink milk or not. I don't give a fuck if they never drink milk again. One person said something on my whey protein thing that was like, well, Jerry, you're talking about whey protein not being, good grade, but you said not to drink milk products. I didn't say not to drink milk products. I said fucking here's the truth. Do with it what you want. I literally just drank a whey protein shake. Okay, what the fuck? Like, you make your choices, but at least know the truth. When I drank it, I said, this is not good for me. And I drank it. It's no different than drinking a fucking beer or smoking a cigarette or whatever the fuck. Anybody that does that type of behavior goes, it's not good for me, I do it anyways. People that go lay in the fucking sun, these knuckleheads on vacation that lay in the sun and get sunburn, that get fucking skin cancer from it, you know when you're laying in the fucking sun or using a tanning bed, it's not good for you. But you accept it and you do it anyways. You don't go to fucking denial. Some people are still in denial. But the bottom line is, guys, there's a lot of information out there that we can't avoid certain things, but we can minimize it. Minimizing it goes a fucking long way because your body can fight. Your body can fight back and heal. It can do amazing things. But not when it's bombarded from every direction because you don't understand what the fuck's going on. So if you start limiting certain things, like maybe you don't drink milk products and eat cheese, but you have whey protein. Maybe you don't drink whey protein and milk, but you have cheese on your fucking pizza. Like, limit it. Just understand what the fuck is going on around you. Stop listening to these people that think life is just sunshine and rainbows and everything is good for you. These are the fucking people that don't understand a fucking bit about what's going on and wind up on all kinds of fucking medications because they just trust the doctor to feed them full of fucking pills. And they wind up with diseases and shit when they claim to be the ones with all the fucking knowledge. If you have all the knowledge, why aren't you applying it to yourself? Because you don't have the right knowledge. You have some of the knowledge. Get all of the knowledge and then apply it. These motherfuckers walking around talking about milk is fine. Yeah, go Google milk and cancer. See what the fuck happens. Like, it blows my fucking mind that people are this fucking stupid, ignorant, and they just want to argue. They just want what they want. I think that's what a lot of it is. Like this dude, I mean, he just wanted to prove a point about milk is so safe. Someone told him milk was bad and it fucking triggered him. It's like the politics shit going on. He must be one of those people that get fucking triggered. Maybe Trump fucking likes milk or something. This motherfucker's like, no, hate milk, Trump, fuck. Maybe that shit's going on. Who the fuck knows? But the bottom line is, this shit's real, guys. Like, you pasteurize milk, you fuck it up. Plain and simple. It's not the same thing. Anybody who's ever tasted raw milk before, which I have, off a farm, knows it doesn't look, smell, taste, anything like that. You can't keep that milk around for a fucking week. You got about a day and a half before that shit fucking goes bad. And that has enzymes and shit in it. Shit that we don't have in the other milk. And you see that shit fortified with this, fortified with that. Motherfucker, that means they're adding it back into it. Nothing you have in that jug means fucking nature, okay? It's not. It's full of antibiotics, hormones, added shit. Like, you're trying to fucking tell me that the links to the fucking studies that I've found are complete bullshit based on the fact that, what, you don't like me fucking saying that? Just because I say something you don't like, it doesn't mean it's not fucking true. So by all means, guys, please, you don't need me to give you links. Literally go to Google or go to Bing, type in milk/cancer or just milk and then space cancer or milk and cancer or milk proteins cancer. Type whatever the fuck you want in. Type a whole paragraph. Does milk cause cancer? Type whatever the fuck you want in there. The information's there. And when you look at it on your own, you're going to be like, fuck, man. Because I give you one link, you'll read one thing. You Google that, a whole bunch of shit's going to come up and you'll fucking read whatever the fuck you want about it. You'll go bing, 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 bing right down the line. You're going to be like this, just like I was. Like I'm that emoji. That was me when I was fucking reading this shit because I grew up on milk. I used to drink a gallon of fucking whole milk, vitamin D whole milk a day. A gallon a day. That was average for me. Because I was poor and I couldn't afford protein powder. So I drink that fucking milk to gain weight. Like, I grew up on tons of fucking milk. I drank milk all the fucking time. I drink a half a gallon in a sitting sometimes with a box of cookies when I was at my biggest. Just because I fucking felt like it. You know what I mean? My father drank fucking milk to the day he fucking died. Tons of milk. He was also riddled with cancer. I'm not saying there's a connection. I'm just saying. Fucking tons of milk products, tons of sugar. Died of cancer all over his fucking body. Lung cancer. Fucking quit smoking 30 years before, but fucking suddenly got lung... Doesn't matter. Bottom line is, guys, do your research yourself. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to this fucking knucklehead on Instagram. Don't listen to any of us. If there's a seed that's been planted in your brain that you think, well, Jerry sounds like a conspiracy theory fucking nut. Well, if that bothers you that I sound like a nut, go look into it. If it triggers something in you to go, oh, that's interesting, I'd like to see what that says, go look at it. If you're like, man, I knew there was something up, like fucking, go look at it. Bottom line is you don't need a reason. Just fucking go look at it. Go look at it, get the truth, and start using other search engines besides Google and see what the fuck is out there. Because I'm telling you guys right now, it's not all about fucking natural shit and everything is good and all these fucking chemicals, everything is fine, it's all good, we're going to live to be 1,000 years old. Oh, Jerry, we live longer now. Motherfucker, we have medications that keep us alive longer. We have people like my wife, by the way, that when you have a fucking heart problem, can fix your fucking heart. Go in there, fix a fucking valve, replace a fucking heart to keep you alive. So when you say shit like, wow, milk has kept us alive, we fucking learned how to fucking pasteurize it. What the fuck? Like, you're discrediting all those fucking surgeons, those doctors that actually do shit to save people's lives every day because fucking milk keeps us alive because we pasteurize it so we live longer? The fuck out of here. BusterTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight BusterTraining.com. It's the bullshit bicep. It's a bullshit milk bicep, and we are out.